Hi everyone, welcome to Stars and Pearls. And yeah, this video is part 4 in the series on our psychic senses, and it's all about our clairvoyance abilities. Now, this is probably the most known, most well-known of all psychic abilities, and the one most people will immediately associate with being psychic as being clairvoyant. And we get that image of the crystal ball, and we're looking in, we're seeing images that are actually reflections of what we're seeing in our mind's eye. Speaking of which, does the mind have an eye? Kind of, sort of, and we're gonna get into that. So, in the area that they call the third eye, right here, there is, well, in the center of your brain, actually, there is a gland called the pineal gland, and this pineal gland is known to be helpful in managing your melatonin. So that means melatonin you need for your day sleep cycle and to fall asleep. So it has rods and cones receptors that are shaped like rods and cones, similar to your eyes. And your eyes channel the light to that pineal gland, which then registers if it's day or night, releases melatonin, puts you to sleep. Okay. But the idea is that some people may have a little bit more than vestigial rods and cones in there that pick up on differing frequencies of light as well. Like pick up on different um, yeah, frequencies of light. I just said it as well, and which the brain then converts into images like it does for your eyes. So, because it's actually the brain that sees, the light is just funneled through your eyes to the back of your brain, as you guys all know, and then your brain creates images out of which you then see. And actually, the images show up upside down, but your brain turns them right side up. So we're living in an upside down world, if you will. Anyways, and actually, what we also see is the reflection of the non-absorbed light reflecting off of the surfaces of things. So everything that we see actually has a actual, in reality, completely different color. What we're actually seeing reflecting that we say is the color of is the non-absorbed light frequency. That's why our sun is actually green and not yellow, but that's a whole other thing. Sight, it's not what you think it is. So in any case, clairvoyance is the psychic ability to receive images from irrespective of time, distance, and relation. And people that are clairvoyant often have spontaneous flashes of visions or seeing, well, often, not every day, obviously, but when they tap in, or sometimes things just suddenly come through to them and they'll suddenly have a vision. They are dreamers. A lot of them have very vivid dreams. Some of them are very artistic, or tend to like the arts, or are very visually stimulated, visual learners. Sight is one of our strongest senses. That's the one we probably it's the most of all the rest. I'd say sight and smell probably is what people would, you know, not want it. Hearing as well. Yeah. Okay. All of them are important. Okay. But sight is really important to many people. So it's people tend to focus on that when they think of clairvoyance, that they're actually seeing something. But clairvoyance is actually really a receiving or a perceiving of something. That's something else, right? So seeing is kind of active, whereas perceiving and receiving is rather passive, and the image comes to you. So this is why it's so important when we're going to look into things psychically, that we don't project or see into things what we want to see, because quantum physics, everything is a field of potential until it collapses into reality. So it could be that you see a reality, and because you're perceiving and you're believing it and you're telling your clients this, they go and manifest it, or it collapses in their field as a manifestation for them. So you want to be very mindful of that, and be sure to transmit what you perceive, what comes to you without you looking for it, diving for it, digging for it, expecting it. And this depends on how you're oriented, how your antenna is oriented, positive or negative, right? So anyways, clairvoyance. There's so many stories around that. I'm sure you have your own, and I would love to hear them in the comments. I recently posted a video on a clairvoyant vision that I had. It's called Three Wishes. You can go check that out. Um, but it's one of also a very actually common psychic ability. It may not be easily called up for many people, but you can easily train it. It's more easily trained than, for example, claircognizance or clairaugustance, clairsalience. And it's probably the one that convinces people the most internally. I always say that, sometimes being a medium or being a psychic, it's not about the others. We always think and talk, oh, it's I'm here to save you, but maybe you are here to save me, because due to our interaction and me having these confirmations from spirit, I'm continuously connected with the world of spirit. I know that this is real. I know that this is true. I'm having these experiences. Nobody can take that away from me. And that is developing and evolving my soul, right? So who's to say, So, and don't believe that if you're having difficulty seeing things or whatever, that somebody is better than you, because maybe they need that gift, maybe they need it for their soul evolution. You didn't, right? So, or not to that extent. So in any case, clairvoyance is easily trained. How do you train it? There's so many ways. Number one is meditation. Okay, meditation to clear your mind, literally, and so that there can be a clear sight or a clear vision, clairvoyance. Number two is you can do the old screen method. So you're imagining a white screen in front of you, or you're sitting in a movie theater, you're seeing a white screen come down, and then you're just asking questions and see what shows up on the screen. You're not actively fantasizing, but you're allowing your imagination to be the bridge. Anything goes, and if it's a purple polka dotted elephant, then that's what it is. It will have its meaning somewhere. So you're allowing the images to reveal themselves on this white canvas or this movie screen. Um, then there's also remote viewing. Remote viewing is probably one of the best ways to develop your clairvoyance. It's a very structured way of going about clairvoyance. If you don't know what remote viewing is, check it out. Google it, type in remote viewing, Google, and you'll see everything all about remote viewing. And there are even target sites, exercise sites that you can utilize to practice your clairvoyant abilities. So those three would probably be the strongest thing. Get comfortable with visual arts. Get comfortable, check out arts, do art yourself, create art, make art, see the images before you project them, but also visualize yourself, set intentions, right? But not just setting the intention in your willpower saying, I intend to do this today. See yourself as you go about every step of your day. There's also meditation that you can do where you visualize yourself doing something mundane like grocery shopping or cooking your food, cooking your dinner, or anything, but you see yourself going through the steps one by one by one, and you're really feeling it, hearing it, and seeing it, seeing everything there is to see, even the little bird on the windowsill, right? So there's anything to do with sight, dive into that. Also, get savvy with symbols, because symbols are going to, if you're clairvoyant, symbols are going to mean a lot to you. The subconscious mind thinks in symbols. It doesn't think in words or in full pictures or in sentences, right? That's a very mental, coming closer to the physical reality manifestation of intelligence. So up there, it's all symbols, fractals, fragments, things of that nature. So you want to get comfortable with symbols, because sometimes that's what you're going to be clairvoyantly perceiving are symbols. For example, somebody who dreams of a tree and know that means 5 years, right? Or who sees bunny rabbits and knows that means fertility. Like really get comfortable with that world if you want to develop your clairvoyance. Um, there are people that are, they feel they have no clairvoyant ability, and then others that say, I can't turn it off. I keep seeing them standing at my bed in the middle of the night. But you can definitely set boundaries, as I've stated in previous videos. The more boundaried you are in your day-to-day life, okay, this usually happens to people that have weak boundaries also in their day-to-day life. Some people like the drama. Don't lie. Don't lie. But it's some people really don't have good boundaries. And so this is why developing all these clairs is going to have to do with your self-improvement, personal development, soul evolution, because you're developing all these things within you, these aspects of yourself that benefit you, that balance you. And one of them is setting boundaries. So the more boundaried you are in your day-to-day life, this becomes a part of your consciousness, which also applies to the other side as well. You'll become more boundaried there. Spirits will know when they can approach you and when they can't, when you're open for something, when you can't, when you're not. You can also clearly state to your guides, you can clearly state to spirit, I'm closed for the day. You can imagine yourself turning a light off or a lamp off, because it is said that people that have these abilities, they shine on the other side. So spirits know that these people are able to connect with them on a certain level or see them. So you can turn that light off. You can cloak yourself in dark blue. You can shut yourself down like a little flower. You can, there's so many visualizations that you can do to represent that I'm not accessible for this at this time. I'm going to sleep. And it is recommended that you have a healthy sleep. Seriously. Now, if you're having such an overwhelm with visions that it's impacting your day-to-day life, and again, this is an informational video, so I have to include this. This may not be clairvoyance, okay? So stay healthy, all right? Stay balanced. It's imperative with these abilities that you're in a balanced state of emotional being, mental being, physical health, I guess, if it impacts your mental health. But it could be other things that are happening there as well. How do you protect yourself? The best protection, as always, is your own energy level, your own vibe. What are you vibing with? Because your vibe is your tribe. So if it's all you're seeing is demons and lower level entities, then you might want to check what you're thinking every day, what you're speaking, what you're doing, what kind of decisions you're making in your life. Short of that, and you're really being attacked in a sense, then of course there is the energy cleansing, there's the distancing, there's the turning your awareness to something else, to something positive, which will lift you up and lift you out of those vibrational frequencies. There's the sovereignty, know that this is Archangel Michael. And there is also protecting yourself with amulets, salt, things of that nature. So, but the honest truth is that it all boils down to your vibe, because you vibe with your tribe vibes with you. So if you're in that state of mind, which is what we also are taught in psychic development, not to work, if you do work as an energy receiver for others, not to work when you're doing really badly or when you're just getting over something, because your body and your entire system needs that energy for itself to rebuild. So this is actually an act of self-love, to shut down for that time and say, I've got this to take care of, this to take care of, and then get back to things, right? So don't be afraid to take breaks, because some people are like, oh, I'll lose my gift if I can't see anything and I don't pick up on anything, and they start to panic because the gifts become a part of their identity and become a part of their ego. And so it slows their actual soul evolution down. But that's a whole other video. But check into cities, Siddhis, and that'll explain that whole aspect of it. But your abilities are always there. They might shift and morph over time as to the how open you are on which level and for what purpose of what evolutionary, what part of you is evolving. And so not to worry if you feel like, oh, wow, I can't access my gifts right now. I can't see anything, or I haven't had a visual sight in like years, or I used to be able to when I was a child. It's all still there. It's just you're here for a reason. You're in this dimension for a reason. You're living this life for a reason. And that's where your energy is going right now. And your spirit guides are allowing that to happen, because that is what is evolving your soul, and not being able to see the interdimensional things, even though it might be super interesting for you. Okay. So don't panic. It's all still there. Just gotta say that. Um, what else? You can also ask, of course, for this to be opened. You can ask for your third eye to be opened. You can ask for your third eye to be strengthened as well, that these impressions, that spirit makes stronger impressions that you can recognize and see them. You can ask them to do that if that is your wish. But whatever you ask for, you will receive. So just keep practicing, just keep going in there. Now, other exercises that you can do, one of the best ones that I forgot about is imagination, right? So imagining things, imagining everything in absolute detail. So you can imagine a lotus flower that is bopping above the water and the water droplets that are on it, down to the little insects that are crawling all over it. And really imagine it. See every texture, see the color changes and shifts, see the smaller things, right? As if you're an artist and a painter and you're really taking everything in, all the plays of light in, because this trains your mind and your brain, makes connections in your brain, so that when you receive that information, it comes in really clearly because that's what your brain is used to visualizing. It's kind of training running. My friend was a runner and I love to run marathons. And she told me if you train to run slow, you're going to run slow. You got to train to run fast. And so, yeah, don't get in the habit of doing certain things a certain way. Train for the outcome that you want to get. Okay. So if you want to get details and accuracy, again, remote viewing, meditation, visualization of things will probably help you build up that psychic muscle, that those connections to get that information that you're looking for. And don't hesitate to ask. Okay. So, yeah, that's clairvoyance in a nutshell. I don't think there's much else to say on the topic. Have fun, explore it. You can see anything with that from here to through other worlds. And again, remember that it's an impression that you're receiving. So, clairvoyance really trains you to surrender because you're not going and fantasizing and putting your image and what you think out there and saying, this is what I see, but you're really receiving flashes of images when you turn your head and that face is just in front of you and then it vanishes again. Or you're looking in the distance and all of a sudden you just see in your mind's eye the past unfolding on this battlefield or battleground that you are walking across. It's happened to so many people. So, for example, going into places that have a history and being able to literally see that history and visualize that. Yeah. So that's another thing that you could do. I just thought of that spontaneously, actually, which I used to like to do, is to go into old places and visualize what may have happened, what could have gone down, and all of a sudden the movie starts playing on its own. So you can do that as well. Right, but the most important thing is to surrender, and for a lot of people that's the personality, that's the personal development chunk, is being able to surrender to spirit, to allow yourself to be impressed with images and visuals that don't come from within your system, okay, or your expectation, or your whatever. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next and last one, which is claircognizance. Take care. Bye.